I went to Broughdale, grade 8. Mr. Donald Curry was the high school principal, and he taught us how to enunciate English, and I'm forever grateful. Then I went to Central. Back then it was grade 13, but I finished high school in 4 years because I took summer school. And came out of Central in 1974. Then went to U of T. My 4 years of paper route, that paid for my first year university. Second year I borrowed from the government, and I finished 2 years of engineering at U of T. Ran out of money, and then I went out west to work. In 1977, I read in the Globe and Mail, I was looking for work in the classified, that they were advertising for rig hands, and this is what they paid. I go, wow, this is for me, I want that job. But I went out west, and I applied to this company. They're no longer in business, but they says, we don't want minorities. But I'm hard of hearing, so I kept on going. I found work in Alberta, no problem. In the meantime, I was able to get a job on the rigs, but it was a very minority group. Ole Olsen was a man that hired me, but I was not a welcome scene. The management just didn't want an Asian guy there, but I didn't see that. I just, there was an opportunity. I was hungry, I needed the money, and I worked. And I did my job without hesitation. No matter how dirty it is, I got in there and I got it done. From then, I was able to move up the ranks, but I was not a welcome person. But I did my job, I had to do it well. And I didn't see any of the obstacles. It was just, get it done, here's my job, I got it. It had to be done. But over time, because I did my work well, I made friends. Because they saw that, hey, Paul gets the job done. It doesn't matter. He's one of us. So somewhere along the line, the barriers broke, and we became friends. Different groups, but the barriers to resistance melted away, and I was accepted as part of the group. In 1993, my phone started to ring. Because it was so tough, many of my colleagues quit or left. And from there, in 93, it just kept on getting busier. And then I went overseas, and my first stint was in North Africa. These are the bigger projects. By then, I graduated into the bigger stuff, the bigger multi-million-dollar projects, in the more complex, more involved, critical stuff. So we have a lot of time at night. We talk to each other in the desert because you wait on things. Sometimes things don't move quite as fast. And then I thought, hey, I got some time. I should get a further education, a postgrad. And that's when I started thinking about getting an MBA. But I didn't want to take 2 years off work and go back to school, because then I lose the income and I got to pay the tuition, which would be a big hit. I did pick up the correspondence MBA. They offered me an incentive, and I accepted. It was a 5-year program, and so I started the program from Algeria, and I continued that into Asia, and from there I completed the MBA program offshore in Peru. My job as a project manager is to make sure the front end, we're in the high risk, high reward, high cost development stage. So companies hire me to make sure these projects are done. Push it, get it done efficiently, safely. And they generally run 2 to 5 years. But when the project comes to completion, they go into a lower cost mode, into the production mode. And then I move on, and I think 100% of the time I have job lined up, or people say, are you available to work for us? Come on over. So when we come to a near an end of one project, pretty much I'm lined up and go to another country for another project. The projects that I'm responsible for, we have about 100 men and 30 security guards. So you can understand, you can feel the political tension. So I work with people from Somalia, Egypt, Yemen, Russia, American, Canadians, French, English, multiple nationalities. each with their own individual problems, concerns, strengths, and weakness. Our job is there to get a job done. My position is to make sure it goes according to plan, safely, efficiently, but get it done. So I hold morning meetings with the group leaders, and we plan our day and says what we need to do, and each person will voice their concerns. This is what I need, I can't do this, I can't work with that guy. But then I ask and I listen to the group, and then we figure out what it is we can and cannot do. And I say, okay guys, this is what I think we can do, and here's what I want. As a leader, we all know I have the ultimate responsibility to get the job done. But I want to work as a consensus, so everybody buys into it, and everybody is happy and cooperative. I try to make things friendly and open. We're not laying blame, because we're all adults. We take our responsibility and we accept it. And anything that works good, I say it's yours. You get the credit. I'll tell the office, this is the guy that came up with the plan and it worked. But if things doesn't work, I'm the guy that takes the responsibility. I stand in front of him and says, it's my responsibility, it's on me. So that's the way I like to work is, we're not by authoritarian, we're not by fiat, but by a cooperative effort. And that's when you build team spirit, because they trust you. And you carry through for them time and again. And next time, it's easier. When I go into the lesser developed countries, at the beginning, I see where their state of the economy. And then at the second year, third year, I see roads, construction, infrastructure being developed. And I come back home and I say, the lesser developed countries are actively asking, seeking, looking for investments into their parts of the world. I want London to be more aggressive in seeking investments to develop London's job market. We have been dormant for about 30 years, and that cannot be sustained. We need to advance. We need to say we want business. Leadership is about trust. You can talk about it, you can discuss it, you can study it. But unless you've been through it, it's hard to characterize. I've been around the world leading multiple groups with different projects, with different nationalities and people with different objectives. But because I earned their trust, one person, one decision at a time, we get the job done as a team. But I'm the guy ultimately responsible for the project, and I stand behind the men and the women. And eventually they get to know you, and it comes easier. London has the individuals, the ability, and the groups that desire to bring London into the 21st century. What they were waiting for, they want, they need, is a leader. I am that person with the ability, the commitment, and the time, and the desire to bring London, our city, into the 21st century. Thank you.